This block of land where we're standing today, it was the original piece of land that my great-great-grandfather was granted back in the late 1850s, in 1858. He came to Australia a few years prior to that to get away from the family industry in England, which was a long line of eye surgeons, and he came to Australia to be with his uncle, who was the first Archbishop of Newcastle, 50 minutes from here. And at the same time, the land grants were happening, and this was the piece of land he was granted, this 300 acres where we're standing now. And then from there, he had to clear all this land by hand and plough it all with horse and cart. It would have been terribly hard work. He and his two sons took the company to where we are today, and it's very humbling to be working with these vineyards. For instance, the one just here behind me, which was planted in 1879 by my great-grandfather.
Tyrrell's focus, and I think the focus of the industry, is we have to keep in the integrity of some of the smaller vineyards that we have, some of these little isolated plots. For the last 10 years, we've been focusing on what we call single vineyard type wines. And what I mean by single vineyard is you take a block of grapes, we pick those, we ferment them separately, we store them separately, and we bottle them separately in batches to keep the integrity and the personality of the vineyard. That's really important. It's something that we've been working on in Tyrrell's for a number of years now. And it's important for our industry to go forward, I believe. It's important that you have the cash flow wines for $5, $10, $15. That is an important part of our industry because it's a big industry. But with these old vineyards, you have to maintain their integrity, and that's my belief anyway as a winemaker. I'm sure it is the same of Tyrrell's. In the Hunter Valley, it only produces about 1% of our national production. You won't see extensive vineyards here. They're quite small. And the reason for that is they have a lot of different soil types here, making small batches. Just on the hill behind me, you'll notice it's all red soil, deep clays. Generally speaking, that's where we make our best reds. And just further down on the flat, it goes to deep white sands. And because they're different soils, they make different varieties. Usually the whites are on the sands and the reds are on the heavier clay soils. And within those soils, you have different blocks of reds and whites of different ages. And it sounds funny, but each block actually has its own personality in the form of a flavour. And that's what we want to capture in the bottle.
What we have here is the original earth floor from Tyrrell's, which was here from the 1800s, which obviously we still use and maintain. We still, 2 days a week, give the dirt a good hose down and turn it into mud, basically, which keeps the barrels nice and wet, as in the humidity in the room stops the barrels from shrinking and drying out the timber. So it's a piece of living history.
From a winemaker's point of view, you're always trying to improve the breed, trying new techniques, not just to make better wine, but it's also more fun. Just here is the Tyrrell's hand press, which has been sitting here for over 100 years. Last 4 vintages, I'll put our best, oldest vineyards, oldest blocks of fruit through this press with some amazing results. And it's a lot slower on the conventional pressing, but some of these 100-year-old vineyards going through here, and we're getting very good results out of them. Physically, looking at the juice and the chemistry of the juice is totally different. The wheel's been reinvented again after 30-odd years, and we tend to be coming back to some of these techniques, which have become very important in the structure and the styles of the wine.
We can see here, these are our original concrete vats, wax-lined vats, that we use for fermenting our top-end red, mainly Shiraz in these vats. And even though they're our oldest, from the late 1800s, we still find them that they're probably the best fermentation vessel we have. And whether it's the old basket press or the hand-pruned vineyards, sometimes it is reinventing the wheel, and using the oldest and most traditional methods work the best. As winemakers, we have all this wonderful technology available to us, but it's the fight that we need to fight every day against. Technology is great, you get home a little bit earlier, but it doesn't make you any more creative necessarily. So sometimes it is these old things that get you thinking and thinking about why you're doing things and the history about it. That's what we enjoy here at Tyrrell's, and the results we get from them are fantastic.